Yeah, welcome. Today we are looking at solution to Cambridge Lower Secondary Checkpoint Mathematics with the code 112, paper 1, April 2020. So the code of the paper is 111/01/April/A/M/20. So this today is a solution, and code of this paper, Lower Secondary Checkpoint Mathematics paper 1, April 2020. So let's go look at this is instruction. You are expected to answer all questions. Okay. Question 1. Work out the value of 5 square plus the square root of 121. 5 square is the same thing as 5 times 5 plus what number will I multiply to give me 121? That is 11 times 11. So we have the 5 square is the same thing as 5 times 5, which is 25, and the square root of 121 is 11. So you have 25 plus 11. That will give you 36. So the answer to question number 1 is 36. So question 2, simplify s raised to power 6 times s raised to power 3. So with this one you have to do with indices, multiplication of indices. Okay, so we have s raised to power 6 multiplied by that. So whenever you are multiplying indices, you are expected to add the power. So s raised to power 6 times s raised to power 3 is the same thing as s you add the power 6 plus 3, which is s raised to power 9. So the answer number 2 is s raised to power 9. Question 3. Write 14/3 as a mixed number. That is the A part of the question. Then the B part of the question, write 8 as a percentage of 32. So let's look at the A part of the question. Now for the A, 14/3 is the same thing as 14 divided by 3, and that will give you 4 whole number, remainder 2. So if you want to write that, you will write it as is the same thing as 4 whole number 2/3. So the remainder you divide it by the denominator. In this fraction, the denominator is 3. So 14/3 is the same thing as 4 whole number 2/3. So that is 4 2/3. The B part of the question, write 8 as a percentage of 32. That is 8 divided by 32 multiplied by 100%. That is how to convert fraction to percentage. So first thing is you express 8 as a fraction of 32. So if you look at that, what can divide the numerator and the denominator? You see, 8 divide 32 will give me 4, and 4 divide 100 will give me 25. So 8 is 25% of 32. Let's go to question 4. Question 4 had to do with simplification, algebra. Simplify negative 6p plus 4p, take away 5p. So you can do this whenever add the negative numbers together. So you have negative 6, negative 5, that will give me negative 11, then plus positive 4p. Right? So whenever you are adding a positive number, and a negative number together, the sign, you take the sign in front of the bigger number, so that will give me negative. And then the next thing is take the sign, so look at the 11 and 4, which one is bigger? 11. Take the sign in front of 11. Then next, subtract 4 from 11, so that is going to be 7p. All right, let's go to question 5. Question 5. Solve the equation 5s plus 35 equals to 75. So if you look at a situation like this, algebra, what you need to do, you collect like term. Since 5s plus 35 on the left hand side, so bring all the numbers to the same side. So what you do is, since you have 5s plus 35, you subtract 35 from both sides. So you are going to have 5s plus 35, take away 35, and also take away that 35 from 75. So 5s plus 35 plus 35, that, plus 35 and negative 35, that will give you 0. So you are left with 5s plus 0. And then when you subtract 35 from 75, that will give you 40. So you have 5s equals to 40. So what will I multiply by 5 to give me 40? That is what it means, 5s equals to 40. So in other words, you divide both sides by 5. So if you 5s divided by 5, that will give me s1. So 40 divided by 5 will give me 8. So your answer is s is equal to 8. So if you want to look at this question, so let's substitute it into the main question. So you have 5s, 5 times 8, that will give me 40. 40 plus 35 will give me 75. So that balanced that question. So let's go to question 6. Now in question 6, the grid shows the position of 3 points A, B, and C, already shown on the grid. ABCD is a square. Write down the coordinate of position D. That is just the question. So first thing you need to do is to trace the vertices of the square. So you have B connected to A, connected to B, B connected to C, and then from the property of a square, we know that all sides are equal. So the distance between B and C is equal to the distance between A and D. So complete it, and that gives us points. So what is the coordinate of the position we are looking for? Position D. So the coordinate of position D, which I mark with X, is going to be, you take the S axis first, that will be -2, then you now take the vertical axis, -2, -1. Alright, let's go to the next question. Question 7. This graph shows the number of drinks that are sold in 1 week. Right. Question 1. Work out how many more drinks of lemonade than water are sold. So we have here, you have lemonade, 12 lemonade drink, and then you look at the water. How many water? 7 water. So if you subtract it, that will give you 5 more lemonade than water were sold. Then question B, write down the modal drink. The modal drink is the drink with the highest sales. So that is coffee. So in this week under consideration, coffee have the highest sale. Okay, so you can look at it. What was the total number of drink sold as coffee? That is 16. So the modal drink is coffee. Let's go to question 8. Write a number in the box to make this statement correct. Convert 5 cm square to millimeter square. So what we are going to do, this is linear measure. What you need to do, rewrite 5 cm in this way. You know that 1 cm is the same thing, is equivalent to 10 millimeter, because 10 millimeter make 1 centimeter. So 5 cm square is the same thing as 5 times cm times cm. Okay, so in the place of each cm, replace it with 10 millimeter. So you have 5 cm square is the same thing as 5 times 10 millimeter times 10 millimeter. So you multiply out the number 5 times 10 times 10, that will give me 500. Then millimeter times millimeter will give me millimeter square. So what we need in that box there is 500. Complete the table to show this question 9. Question 9 now, we're in question 9. Complete the table to show equivalent number. The first row is completed for you. So on the left hand side we have powers of 10, and on the right hand side we have the ordinary number. So 10 raised to power 2 is the same thing as 10 times 10, which is what? 100. Then the next row, what number will I raise to power 10? What will I raise 10 to get 10,000? So just look at it here. How many 10s are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. So that will give me 10 raised to power 4. Then here we have 10 raised to power 5. Write it in ordinary number. That means 1 followed by 5 zeros. So that will give me that. So you have completed that. Then with that you can work out this mathematics. 1.2 divided by 0.01. Okay, if you look at that, simple, rewrite it as 0.1 divided by 0.01. So what I need to do, I'll multiply both the numerator and the denominator by 100. So I have 1.2 times 100 and then 0.01 times 100. So that will give me 120 divided by 1. So 120 divided by 1 will give me 120. So that is the answer to 9B. So let's look at this question, question 10. Mike has 6 cards, each labeled with a letter C, H, A, N, C, and E. He selected the card at random and record the letter on it. Write down a list of all the possible outcomes. You know, what we are trying to test here is that in probability, repeated number, you don't know the difference between the two C because they are the same letter. So you count the two C in this particular word as one possibility. So write down all the possible outcomes. So all the possible outcomes you are going to have is, do not repeat any letter. That is the rule. So you have C, you have H, A, N, and E. So there are only 5 possibilities. Then write down the probability that Mark select a card that is labeled with the letter C. How many C do you have here? We have 2 C's. So we are picking 2 C out of 6 numbers, 6 letters. So the probability is 2 over 6, which is the same thing as 1 over 3 if you reduce it to lowest term. The value of their masses in kg is 1/4 of the value of their total height in cm. So the first thing you need to do here is to find their total height. So their total height is 110 cm plus 154 cm. But they told us that their total mass is 1/4 of it, so you divide that total by 4. So that will give me 264 divided by 4. That will give me 66 kg. Okay, so now you will now share their masses to know each of their masses. So you find what is the ratio of Gabriella's mass. So Gabriella's mass is going to be 3 out of 11. So we have the total ratio, because here you have the ratio of Gabriella to that of Pierre is 3 to 8. So what is the total ratio? So that will be 3 plus 8 will give me 11. So what fraction of the mass is that for Gabriella? That will be 3 over 11. What is the fraction of Pierre's mass? That will be 8 over 11. To get each of their masses, you use the fraction of their masses to multiply the total mass. So we have for Gabriella is going to be 3 over 11 multiply 66. That will give me 11 going to 66 will give me 6. So 6 multiplied by 3 will give me 11 kg. So Gabriella is 11 kg. So to get that of Pierre's fraction, the fraction of the total mass is 8 over 11 multiplied by the total mass of 66. So if 11 divides 66, that will give me 6. So 6 times 8 will give me 48. So Pierre's mass is going to be 48 kg. All right, let's go to question 12. This has to do with statistics, pie chart. Oliver draw 2 pie charts that show the favorite subject of students from 2 different schools. So school A has 200 students, while school B have 120 students. Now if you look at the pie chart, school A, 50% of the 200 students likes mathematics. Okay, while in school B, 25% of the students like mathematics. All right. So Oliver says that the same number of students in school A and in school B said mathematics is their favorite subject. So tick to show if Oliver is correct or not. So if it's the same number, so since the subject in question is mathematics, so what you need to do, you compare in school A how many students has mathematics as their favorite subject. So 15% out of the 200 students, so that's 15% means 15 over 100 times 200. So 100 divide 200, that will give me 2. So 2 times 15 will give me 30 students. That is school A. So let's look at school B. 25% of the students, so from this sector of the pie chart, so you have 25% of the student, that is 25% means 25 out of 100. So 100 divide 120. Okay, you can do that, or 25 go into 100, that will give me 4. 4 divide 120 will give me 30. So you have 30 students. So from both schools, so you can see from our calculation that 30 students love mathematics from both schools. So Oliver is correct. So let's put our tick. Correct. So let's go to question 13. The coordinates of point A are 3, 8, and the coordinate of point B are 9, 15. Find the coordinate of the midpoint of the line AB. So this we use the midpoint principle. Okay, now for you to get the midpoint, all you need to do, add the corresponding x-axis and divide it by 2, and add the corresponding y-axis coordinates values and divide it by 2. So s1 in this case is 3, ys2 is 9, y1 is 8, and y2 is 15. So let's use it. So we have 8 plus 9, that will give me 12. Y you have 12 divided by 2 will give me 6. That is the midpoint for the x-axis. Then the y-axis we have 8 plus 15. That will give me 23. So half of 23 will give me 11.5. So the coordinates you have there. So question 14. Here is a function. X is mapped into the function 10x plus 2. Okay, fill in the missing number. If s take the value 3, so you say 10 times 3 will give me 30 plus 2 will give me 32. If 7 take the value, if s take the value 7, we have 7 times 10 will give me 70 plus 2 will give me 72. Now, if s take the value 4, what will be the output of the function? All you need to do, you take the equation and replace x in 10x plus 2 with 4. So that will give me 10 times 4, 40, 40 plus 2 will give me 42. So the answer there is 42. Now in the other way, you are going to look for the input that will give you the output of 2. So what will be the value of x so that the function will have the output as 2? So in this case, what you need to do, you will write out the function, which is 10s plus 2, and it's going to give me the value 2. So it's going to be, solve the equation 10s plus 2 equals to 2. To do that, so if you see, since we have 2 on both sides, so you subtract 2 from both sides. So that will be 10s plus 2 minus 2, that is 0. Then 2 take away 2, that will give me 0. So you have 10s equals to 0. So what number will I use to multiply 10 to give me 0? The answer is what? 0. So s is equal to 0. So that is how you solve this type of question that to deal with function. Okay, so let's go to 15. Work out this fraction, the multiplication of fraction 7 over 12 multiplied by 9 over 14. Give your answer as a fraction in its simplest form. So that means reduce it to the lowest term. Well, you look at this, you have both the numerator and denominator. You can see what is the number that can divide both the numerator and denominator. So as you can see, 7 can divide 14, that will give me 2. So now we are left with 9 over 12 times 2. But okay, if you look at 9 and 12, 9 and 12 are both multiples of 3. So you can divide both the numerator and denominator by 3. So 3 divide 9 will give me 3. 3 3 divide 12 will give me 4. So in this case, that will now leave us with 3 over 4 times 2. So our final answer is going to be 3 over 8. And there is nothing common to the two of them, so that is your answer to question 15. Let's go to question 16 is interpretation of distance time graph. Angeli leaves home at 9:30 to go for a walk. The graph shows information about her walk. So, well, let's just analyze the graph generally before we go into the question. Whenever you have distance time graph, if you have a point, a flat point means that the person stopped moving. Okay, so here she stopped moving within this time. So she left the house. Now she walked 8 kilometers to the top and stopped for a rest and then return home the same way. Question A. Work out her speed on the return journey. So you look at this journey while she was walking back home. So the main thing you need to know, now we know the distance is 8 kilometers because where she walked to before she rested was 8 kilometers, which is given. But what you need to find out is how long did she use to walk back home. So from the time, you need to find out that, okay? So if you look at that, that will give us the time. So from 12:30 to 2:30. So how long is that? I think that's about 2 hours. So you can say speed is distance divided by time. So that is going to give me 4 kilometers in every hour. So she walked 4 kilometers in every hour. 4 kilometers in every hour. So look at the second part of the question. Carlos is Marquin's brother. He leaves home at 10 a.m. He walks at the speed of 6 kilometers every hour in the same direction as Angeli. Okay, he walks for 90 minutes, 1 hour 30 minutes. That is for 1.5 hours. In other words, put in fraction, that will be 3 over 2 hours. So 90 minutes, I've converted it to hour. That will give me the fraction 3 over 2. Draw a line on the graph to show his walking. Okay, so let's look at it. He left home when? 10 a.m. Okay, and he walked 90 minutes. So you have the beginning here. So if you look at it, the beginning, and then you now look at the end from the information given to us. So we have this distance times time. So we have he was walking 6 kilometers every 1 hour, and he walked for 1 hour, 1.5 hours. So that will give me 6 multiplied by 3 over 2. That is 18 divided by 2 will give me 9 kilometers. Okay, so he walks 9 kilometers starting from 10. So from here we have the first point, and then 9 kilometers will now be this second point. So you connect those two lines with a straight line. Okay, you see where they cross each other. So where? When did they pass each other? That would be 6 kilometers from their house, 6 kilometers from their home, 6 kilometers from their home. Very good. But let's see. We see part of the question. Estimate the time when Angeli and Carlos met. So when did they meet? I think Carlos left house 10 a.m. Angela left house 9:30 a.m. But 1 hour after Carlos left, they met 6 kilometers away from their house. So how long did it take them? Just 1 hour. So when did they meet? That is the point there. So it's 11 a.m. That is just 1 hour. Okay. The next question, question 17, has to do with square base pyramid. It's made up of wire. The edges of the base all have the length 3.07 cm, and the other edges all have the length 6.93 cm. So if you look at it, the slant edges is 6.93. How many are they? We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the base also, we have the base is also 4 of them. So the total length is going to be, the total length of wire needed is going to be 4 times the length of the slant edges plus 4 times the length of the base. So that will give me 4 times 6.93 cm plus 4 times 3.07 cm. So that will give us 27.72 cm added to 12.28 cm. That will give me 40 cm. So we need to make this square base pyramid need the total length of 40 cm. Question 18. Here is a number fact. 30,442 divided by 47 to give me 286. Use this fact to work out question A and B. Now question A, we are told the decimal position has been shifted. So you have decimal was introduced into the, we have 13.442 divided by 4.7. All you need to do, use the fact above, put it as numerator and denominator, and so from here, you know, if you divide 13,442 by 42 by 47, it will give you 286. You are already given that. So what you need to do, multiply both the numerator and denominator. So I will try to make the denominator equal to this 47. So I will multiply 4.7 by 10. That will give me 47. So 47. Then the numerator, what is remaining? So if I multiply 13.442 by 10 will give me 134.42. So from here, you know the answer. If I were to divide 13,442 by 47, it would have given me 286. But this time, since there's a decimal point, all I need to do, my answer is supposed to be 286. So I will shift the decimal point to the same number of decimal points as this. So 2 decimal points. That's why your answer will become 2.86. Let's use it for the second. Okay. Now this second question, you are now having, which is the answer, 286, but there's a decimal point that is introduced, and you are multiplying it by 92. So you have 92. 94 is double of 47. So cross multiply this, that will give me that. Okay, I'm trying to make it look like the question given to us. Okay, so I have that, and if I want to do this, all I need to do is, okay, it's not yet balanced. Now I have 2.86 multiplied by 47, but if you look at this point, the question, you were given 92. So what will I do to 47 to make it equal to 94? I'll multiply it by 2. So I will multiply both sides by 2. So multiply both sides by 2. That will give me, okay, so it becomes this. So the answer, the number here is what? 268.84. That is the product of 2.86 multiplied by 96. All right. Question 19. We have a rectangle. The rectangle has size of length 1200 meter by 700 meter. Draw the rectangle to scale. Use a scale of 1 cm represents 200 meter. So what we need to do, we need to find on our scale diagram how long will the length be. So we have 1200 divided by 200 meter per cm. That will give me 6 cm. Then look at how long will the width be. So 700 meter divided by the scale of 200 per cm. That will give me 3.5 cm. So you take your ruler and your pencil, you draw the length of 6 cm. Okay, that is the length of the rectangle. Then you draw the width of the rectangle, which is 3.5 cm. Okay, so what you are going to do, you repeat the same length and breadth on the opposite side using the property of rectangle, because opposite sides are equal. And make sure that the angle here is 90 degrees, the angle between the length and the width. So complete 3.5 on the other side, then you complete the side, so that complete these calculations. 7.4 plus what to give me 3.1. What will I add to this big number to give me a smaller number? That means the number I'm adding is something that I subtracted. That means I'm going to subtract something from 7.4 to give me 3 points. So what I'm going to add means what will be here is something that is smaller than 7.4. So if I rearrange that, 7.4 take away 3.1 will give me 4.3. Therefore 7.4 take away 4.3 will give me 3.1. The next question is 9.4 take away negative 5.7 to give me what? So here you have double negative operation, so that is equivalent to addition. So 9.4 take away negative 5.7 is the same thing as 9.4 plus 5.7 to give me 15.1. So that is what is missing there. Question 21. Sophia wants to find out whether people like a new airport. She surveys 20 people who work at the airport one morning in March to find their opinion of the airport. Write down 2 ways Sophia could improve her data collection. 1. Sophia should ask more people, not only 20. So because the greater the number of people she interviews, the more reliable will be the data that she is going to collect. Right. Second one, Sophie should interview passengers, not just the employee, because in this question here we are told that she interview 20 people who work at the airport. So she should interview both customer and not only employee, people working there. Sophia should ask people throughout the day, not only in the morning. So that will give her reliable data. And Sophie should ask people in different months, not only in one month, the month of March. She will extend it to April, May, June, July, so that she can have more data. Then Sophie should ask people on different days in March, not only on one morning, one particular day. I think by doing this, she can improve. So any of these options, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, any two of them is enough to answer this question, because you are just 2 marks. Okay, let's go to question 22. So 22 have to do with the plan. Okay, the diagram shows an object made from 5 cubes. It has been drawn on isometric paper. Draw the plan and the front elevation of the object on the grid below. So the plan is when you look at it from the top. That is a plan. Okay, plan view. Okay, so if you look at it from the top, you see this line. Okay, this line. Okay, so this is what we are going to see when you look at it from the top. Now let's look at the front view. Front view means you are looking at it from this part. So that is your front view. Okay, so if you do that, what is it going to look like? So we look at it from this direction. So this is what it's going to look like. So that is what you are going to see when you look at it from the front. So let's go to 23. Convert 12-hour clock time into 24-hour clock. Okay, let's see how to do this conversion. 6:15 p.m. 6:15 p.m. So add it to 24 hours. That means I'm adding 6 hours to 12 noon. So that will give me from 12. If you count 6, that will give me 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, 18, 15. But you put 00. 24 hours, you don't need to put PM or AM. Alright. Then 9:59 AM. Write it 24 hours. So since it's not up to 12 noon, you just write it the same thing. So it's going to be 09:59. But because it's 24 hours, do not make the mistake of writing 9:59 again, because that is only 12-hour clock. Okay, take note. Then 1 minute past 12 AM, that is after midnight. So that will just be after midnight is the end of the day. So that means the day is just starting. So it's going to be 00, just 1 minute into the 24 hour. So that is about that. Note, 9:59 is not accepted. So Don't write 9:59 a.m. as 9:59 in 24 hours. The mark will not be given to you. It is wrong. Let's go to question 24. Triangle B is enlarged. Is an enlargement of triangle A. So triangle A enlarged to produce triangle B. So how do you know? You need to find out. So if you look at the corresponding side, how many squares are here on the base? 2. Then how do you know the corresponding side here? How many squares are here? So once you know that, so you find out the scale factor is the enlarged base divided by the actual base A. So the actual base is 2 square, while the enlarged base is 8 cm. So if you do that, it will become 8 divided by 4. So the scale factor is 4. Work out the scale factor of the enlargement. So we multiply the whatever length we got from triangle A by 4 to get the length of B. So question 25. Interpretation of table. Okay, so let's look at this table. The table shows the ages of a group of boys and girls. So we have the age, then we have the numbers of boys, and then we have the numbers of girls. If you look at this table, it says tick to show that these statements are true or false. What is the statement? First statement: there are more girls aged 12 than boys aged 12. So first of all, we look at age 12. So we have this age 12 here. So if you look at number of boys, there are 8. We have 8 boys. Then how many girls? Which one is more? The girls. So if you look at that, there are more girls. There are 4 more girls. No, 6 more girls than boys. So that one is correct. The range of age for boys higher than the range of age for girls. Okay, so let's look at the boys. The girls, the boys that were the data used here, the ages of the boy range from 10 years to 17 years. Why? If you look at the girls' own, the range of the age, none of the girls is 16 years old, none of the girls is 17 years old. That's why you have 0, 0 here. So the range of the age range from 10 years to 15 years. So the range of the age for boys higher than the range of age for girls. I think. Okay. So you can see that. So it's also correct. All right, let's go to next question. Question 26. Find the fraction halfway between 2/3 and 5/16. 5/16 and then 2/3. Find the fraction halfway between them. Halfway between them. So what do? Add them together and divide it by 2. So the LCM of 3 and 6 is 6. So 2 go into 6 will give me 2. 2 times 2, that will give me 4/6. Then 6 going to that will give me 4 plus 5, that is 9/6. Then divide it by 2. In other words, that is 9/6 times 1/2. Okay, so that is going to give me what? 9/12. Bring it, reduce it to lowest term. That will give me 3 into both of them, 3/4. So that is the number midway between them. Question 27. The diagram shows a fish tank. Wow. The dimension 30 cm wide, 50 cm long, and 40 cm high. But take note, the tank is not fully filled, it's just 4 cm, not up to 40 cm, the depth of water that is poured into it. Okay, Lily, the fish tank has a capacity of 60 liters. Lily used a 2000 milliliter jug to put water into the fish tank. She stopped when the water is 4 cm from the top as shown here. Okay, so you can see this. So what is the depth of the water? So remove 4 from 40, that will give me 36. Work out the number of jug that Lily uses. First of all, calculate. So we have water that Lily poured, give me that is 50 times 26 times 30 will give me 54,000 cm. Mind you, 1 cm cube is the same thing as 1 millimeter. So 54,000 centimeter cube is the same thing as 54,000 milliliter. So if you divide that by 200 milliliter, that will give me 2000 milliliter, will give me 27 cups that she poured. Question 28. Put this calculation in size, in order of size from the smallest to the greatest. You do not need to work out each value. So we are looking at your ability to follow instruction and ordering of value. So what you need to do, work out the value of each of these number, but don't write out the answer that you worked out. Okay, so let's look at the first one. That is give me 7.65. okay, this 7.65 is for my personal consumption. I don't need to write it. I still have to use this value 9 times 0.85. okay, it's just for me to know which one is the higher the value. So that will give me 50, next one 18, and then the next one. So we need to know which one is the smallest. I have 7.6, 50, 18, 0. I think this is the smallest, so that one will come first. So I have 9 multiplied by 0.1. So after that, what is the next one? So I have this should follow. So I have that. Then after that, I have 18 and 50. So this should be the next one, 18, and then finally I have 50. So that is what you are supposed to do. You do not need to work out each value. So that's why I'm putting the same question as the answer. I'm ordering them like that. Okay. Question 29 has to do with parallel line geometry. Okay, from what we have there, so Jamila proved that the angle of triangle SYZ add up to 180 degrees. Complete her proof. Angle A and E are equal because angle A, this angle A, then angle E, they are corresponding angle. Okay, they are on top of this line and they are also to the right hand of the parallel line. Okay, angle B, so we are looking at angle B, this angle B. Okay, angle B should be equal to angle D. alternate angle. Okay, angle CDE add up to 180 because they are straight angle. Angle CDE, angle on a straight line. Yeah, that is all. Question 29. So that brings us to the end of this paper 112/01/A/M/20. So look up to the next paper. Thank you for learning.